Hey guys, what is up? Mike here, Laker Talk. Let's talk Laker basketball. Excited because the Dodgers just went up 2-0 on the Cubs, going back to Chicago. Up 2-0 on the Cubbies. This is not last year's Dodgers, so I'm excited about that. Justin Turner just hit that walk-off home run. But my focus got back to reality real quick on the Lakers. And preseason just ended not too long ago, and we're about to start the regular season come Thursday. And I just got to say this, guys. I don't know what to take from this preseason. I'm not excited at all. I don't want to lower my expectations. I'm always hoping the Lakers win every game. So I don't want to say we're not going to win 30 to 35 games. That was our expectations, like 37 games. Heck, 40 games would have been like over. But we haven't even looked anything but like, we look like a 20-win team based on what we saw. And this is preseason. Everybody's saying, Mike, chill. You look at some of the other teams. Some of the other teams lose a lot of games too in the preseason, like the Cavs and stuff like that. But Cavs didn't play LeBron James for the most part. We didn't have our full squad, so what to take from it. But I'm not optimistic. That's all I'm saying. And I see things. I see little bits and pieces, and then I get excited about them, and I'm like, that's when I can get optimistic on those things. But there wasn't a lot to get optimistic about, other than Lopez looking like Brook Lopez, like what we thought. Like he can hit the three, he can stretch the floor. He's like the short shot thing. That's pretty much it. That's it. That's all I can hang my hat on and say, going into the season, that's a short shot thing. Let me just run down my concerns and why I'm not optimistic. I mean, let me just show you guys this. This is our squad. Lonzo, Bogut, Brewer, Thomas Bryant, KCP, Caruso, JC, Luol Deng, Tyler Ennis, Josh Hart, B.I., Kyle Kuzma, Brook Lopez, Larry Nance Jr., Julius Randle, and Zubats. Listen, let me just say this as it zooms back in. Listen, we just don't have the personnel. We just don't have the personnel to be a good squad. I was happy coming out of Summer League, really excited, and then the hot air in that balloon just kind of like psss. And I know a lot of people always tell me, Mike, you're much more enjoyable to watch when you're optimistic. I know, we all are. We all like listening to stuff when, you know, things are going well. But I don't know. And then I'm not even sure about Luke Walton anymore. I'll get to that in a second, but let me just say this. Let me just run through the lineup real quick. Lonzo Ball was hurt, but Lonzo Ball is still 19 years old, right? Still this kid just fresh out of UCLA, right? His transition game is going to make guys better, but he needed time to gel in some sort of half-court offense. Okay, against these top NBA players, he's not going to have his transition game every single time. He's going to have to run a half-court offense. We haven't seen any bit of that because he hasn't been on the floor. He's played like one game. At the 2, KCP. I don't care what you guys tell me. KCP, every time I see him on the floor, I'm like, I thank God that's a one-year deal. All right? Let's just leave it at that. I'm thanking God that's a one-year deal. All right? When I see KCP on the floor. Like on the offensive end or whatever. I'm just not seeing what I don't care about. He got good defense. No. I'm glad that's a one-year deal. At the 3, Brandon Ingram. We know why I posted several videos about Brandon Ingram. We know where we stand with Brandon Ingram, okay? It's going to take some time. At the 4 spot, you got Julius Randle, who is on Sherm 85% of the time. Let's keep him on the bench, okay? I want him on the bench, scoring 15 and 7, okay? We put him on the starter, we're screwed. Okay, leave him on the bench, putting up 15 and 7. Just leave him there. We got him for one more year. Just leave him there. Larry Nance Jr. starting at the 4, in my opinion. Larry Nance Jr. is no matter how you slice it, he's a bench player. Okay, so if we get him at the 4, we got a bench player starting at the 4. Kyle Kuzma starting at the 4. Now we got a guy who doesn't rebound, and it's still a rookie, right? So it's going to take him time. Is he going to put up 20 points a game? I don't know. I mean, obviously not, but he's capable of putting up 20. He put up 20, I think, close to 20 in the preseason. But, you know, as we see the last several games, his shot was off. It's going to take him time. You know, I think once he gets back with Lonzo will make things easier for him, and hopefully he finds his shot, his stroke back. But we know about Kyle Kuzma. He's got the skills, but I don't know if he's a bona fide floor right now to start, okay? So I think Larry Nance Jr. maybe gets that starting spot at the 4. Lopez, we know Lopez. Lopez is on a big 1-year contract. He's decent, but he's 1-year deal, and he's the only short shot thing in my opinion. Going to our bench, Tyler Ennis. Tyler Ennis, in my opinion, took a step back. Last year, end of last year, he looked more confident. He put up shots more. This year, he looks like he's listening to Luke Walton trying to run some offense, and he's not hitting the open 3 like he used to, like he was last year. Last year he looked like, at the end of last year, he looked like he was more coming in trying to get that contract, and now he's just trying to like learn the system. So he was more eager to show what he could do end of last year, whereas now he's trying to like listen to Luke Walton, and he's not just playing his game. So to me, he looked like took a step back. Josh Hart, let me just say this: you're a 4-year player for a reason, okay? But Josh Hart, fine, he's on the team, whatever. Luol Deng is Luol Deng, okay? Jordan Clarkson, every time we see him, we want to throw some of the TV, and then we stop because he does something good, but then we pick it back up again. You know, that's Jordan Clarkson. Caruso, I mean, come on. He's got some good NBA skills, but he's a G League player, or no matter how you put it, in my opinion. You know, I think he needs a little bit more confidence. He's got all the skills, got all the right skills. He can pass, can do stuff. He's a big guard, but he just needs to just be like, hey, I'm here. He doesn't have that Steve Blake confidence, whereas Steve Blake was a similar type of player, in my opinion, but Steve Blake had NBA confidence, which made him a long-term NBA player. Right now, Caruso doesn't have Steve Blake's NBA confidence. Even Kobe Bryant talked about how Steve Blake had that confidence before he came to the Lakers, and Kobe really called that out. And I remember I used to always love Steve Blake, even when he played for Maryland. But you know, Thomas Bryant, energy guy off the bench. You know, give us a couple minutes here and there. Corey Brewer is Corey Brewer, right? Just and there. Bogut, we haven't seen Bogut play in the year. Lonzo Ball. I mean, I tweeted this out. I said, listen, unless Lonzo Ball is like Neo from the Matrix, we're gonna have a long season. Meaning, like, he's got to be the one. I mean, the one to turn this franchise around. If he gets on the floor, and we haven't seen him on the floor in the preseason, but if he gets on the floor and everything looks completely different than what I saw in the preseason, I mean, that's all I can hope for. That's all we can hope for. So let's just leave it at that. It's preseason. It's going to take some time for us to gel. We start Thursday. I got some concerns, and we leave it at that. But my biggest concern, not my biggest concern, but there's a biggie. I think I'm going to throw a lot of people for this, is Luke Walton. Luke Walton, in my opinion, I got my eye on Luke Walton if I'm Magic and Rob. I'm not saying anything like he needs to get on the chopping block this year, but if the Lakers, if there's some things that I want to see out of Luke Walton that I think, okay, I can work with them going forward after this year. He needs to get tougher on guys. Okay, he's a little bit too like, you know, complimentary of folks. As sometimes, you know what, you're gonna have to lay down the law a little bit. And I need to see some decent systems coming from Luke Walton. Offensive system, some defensive activity. Like he's saying they're talking defense, but I don't see it on the floor. He's got to have some better rotations. His rotations were terrible. Obviously, it's preseason and trying things out, but so half-court offense, like a real half-court offense, like they need to buy into a defensive system and his rotation's got to get better. And he's just got to be tougher on guys. I'm sorry that I'm not, like, he just keeps, in my opinion, I'm not asking for a Byron Scott type of attitude, but we need, in my opinion, I don't know. All I'm saying is this: if I'm Magic Johnson, I'm having some coffee with like Mark Jackson. That's all. I'm just having coffee. Hey dog, what's going on? That's it. Yes, I'm just having some coffee, and then I'm keeping my eye on Luke Walton. That's all I'm saying. Is I need to see more out of all these guys. So I got some concerns. I know you like it when I'm more optimistic and it's fun. Me too. I hope I'm wrong in all this, and we come out swinging and we start looking decent. Let's see come Thursday. But for right now, I got some major concerns. Okay, that's just me. Let me know what you think. Hit me up in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for commenting, liking, subscribing. As always, follow me on Twitter at MikeSportsLA and Instagram at MikeSportsLA. And until next video, guys, we'll talk soon. Peace.